So, how have your games been going since last time?
Not too bad. Had a 8-game win streak.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Alright, let me check these out.
but I do have like a different request for today, if
Yeah,
you're
sure.
down with it.
Well, let's hear it. I'm not going to commit to it yet, but yeah.
I need to learn how to properly flame my teammates. No, I'm just kidding. I need to
Very good.
figure out how to do drafting and strats for a 5-stack.
Okay. So, okay, so I can help with that.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do, then I'm down to do it. It's just a lot of that stuff does not apply to matchmaking like at all. So this isn't going to help increase your MMR. So if that is like totally clear, then I'm completely down to talk about that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, party MMR though, right? Like if
Oh yeah, but is that a thing? Is party MMR a thing?
right.
But no, you are right. You are right.
Yeah, I just have this stack that I play with all the time, and we each have individual skills. If we could just find like a comprehensive strat that involves all 5, instead of us just kind of like picking the stereotypical, all right, here's the 2 supports and safe lane farmer and an offlane and all that shit.
Yeah,
When
no,
we go against a team
do
that has, that comprehensive all 5 work together perfectly, and I'd like to set that up if we can.
Okay, so I can give you like guidelines. I'm against giving you like a strat, like I don't know, push strat or whatever, just because like those things change and they'll change from patch to patch. Whereas like most of the time, drafting guidelines don't. They stay similar. So I think we should talk about those rather than like just talking about like, oh, pick Nature's Prophet, Beastmaster, blah blah blah, like all that kind of thing. So rather than giving you like one hero for each role that you're gonna pick no matter what, I think giving you like a choice, like pick a disabling offlaner or like an offlaner with some push, and then like a Death Prophet or Zeus mid, someone with a lot of damage, stuff like that, depending on the situation. I think that'd be more helpful.
Okay,
But, yeah, we can do that.
If I were to throw, just like hypothetically, and see if this is, because I'm just kind of feeling this out anyway. I have a very high win rate with, for example, Abaddon as a core.
Okay.
I don't know how you feel about that, but I run him pretty often, and the win rate is insane, and I'd like to implement that into this 5-stack. They all like it. We're just not sure how to use it.
Okay.
So just as an example, like how would you build a team around that?
Well, building a team around it is weird. It can work, but it's like so Abaddon is really good when you are playing against weak laners. Like I'm sure you've experienced that. Like if you're playing against like Lion Spectre or something like that,
Right.
where there's just like very low damage output, and you can just run at them after you're level like 3 and just hit
Yeah.
them and they die. Like that's when Abaddon is best, at least as a core. So the reason I don't think Abaddon is like that good, but still playable, is because like a lone druid could do the same thing and scale better. The only difference is like lone druid can't save his teammates as easily as Abaddon can. So he's in this weird place where he's like actually really good at running heroes down, but he doesn't scale that well.
Right.
But he also does have the defensive capabilities. So I think we could do something where like you run a offlane centric lineup where like you focus a lot on getting your offlane farm and not necessarily sacrifice the mid, but you don't put as much effort on like defending the mid, or you run an independent safe lane and rotate supports bottom or whatever. A lot of this stuff does come down to like how you play it in addition to what heroes you draft, so keep that in mind as well. But so rather than saying like build the composition around Abaddon offlane, I'd say pick like 4 or 5 different heroes that are similar to Abaddon offlane in that they put a lot of pressure on the map and they do a lot of physical damage and they can chase heroes down. So like Beastmaster, Nature's Prophet, and Lone Druid, like I said. It's like those just off the top of my head. So you can make a composition that would fit all of those in, and then you just pick the one that's appropriate for the game, or the ones that you play or whatever.
Now,
yeah.
before we go on, are you? I don't know what is the Abaddon like best placed in offlane, as opposed to safe lane farmer.
Opposed to safe lane, yes, definitely.
Okay.
I think he's better as a support personally, but he's definitely playable as a core. Yeah.
And if you were to play him core, you would put him in the offlane.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
He probably has some good mid matchups, but I don't want to talk about that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's
I wouldn't
applicable.
do that.
Yeah, but either way. Okay, so how do you want to do this? Do you want to just like, I can like make a Google Doc, I guess, and then I can share it. I think that seems like the best way to do this.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, we could also do like paint, but then you can't control it. I guess I'll just like screen share and do paint, and just make a picture, so it'll make it easier.
Yeah, that would, and then you could send something to me after.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that instead. Okay, let's bring up.
And if this happens to not take that much time, we could always run over a recent replay or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
You're down for that.
Okay. So, do you happen to? Well, why don't we talk about like what hero pools your players have, because that matters too, right? Like I can't just give you a bunch of heroes to play if you don't play them.
For sure. Okay, so I think our strongest player is we always throw him mid.
Okay.
He's obviously got Invoker, OD, all the classic meta mids, you know.
Okay.
He's strong in almost every hero role. That's typically what his TA is insane.
Okay. What MMR is he?
He's right now he's 4K. He's typically 45.
Okay. So I'll just put 4.5K. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so he just plays standard carry mids. That's fine. We can work with that.
Yeah.
Okay. What about carry player?
Well, that's usually me.
Okay. Cool.
Down in safe lane. That's why I've been practicing with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if this is going to change things up or whatever, I have somebody that I could throw into the carry position.
Oh no, the roles don't matter so much. As long as you don't have like a 1K player playing carry and then like a 5K on support, it'll be fine. Yeah. So no worries. All right. So what heroes do you want to play in competitive?
Well, the ones that I've been going over with you, I feel like they're the strongest carries right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Spec, Jug, PL, even, especially with the Invoker spam going on.
Mm-hmm. Do you play Sven?
I do play Sven. Yeah,
Okay,
Sven
good.
would.
Okay. So how about OD?
I feel like our mid would be better on the OD than me.
Okay.
I mean, I can technically play him, but I'm not going to be near as good as he is.
So here is the thing with that is like you don't necessarily have to be as good as him. The strength of OD, in my opinion, is that you can pick him first or like in the first phase, and then like he's very ambiguous. Like if a team sees OD, they're like, okay, it's mid or safe lane OD. It's not like okay, they pick the Zeus, so Zeus is going mid, or Death Prophet is going mid. Like it's ambiguous, and also like OD is a really strong safe laner as well, so it might be beneficial for you to pick him up, at least for drafting purposes anyway. He's just like a fucking nightmare for offlaners. Like there are very few heroes, like Huskar comes to mind, where you can just put them against an offlaner, get them level 3, and then the offlaner doesn't get any EXP from the lane. The hero is just disgusting in lane anyway. So it would probably be beneficial to pick him up.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what about supports? So let's start with the 5 supports actually.
Okay. The one that comes to mind immediately is he plays an extremely good Dazzle, Lion, Rubik.
Okay.
Those are his 3 mains, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay, that's fine. Let me check really quick. What about like... I think those are fine. How about, does he play Witch Doctor? I'm sure he does.
He does, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's good enough. Okay, that's up 4. What about the 4?
The farming support goes, he can play SB, Omni.
Okay.
I'm going to pop over to the hero list again and see.
Yeah, of course.
CM.
Okay.
And he takes that into jungle, typically. I mean, he doesn't jungle, but he'll pop in and out of lane and try to get his farm.
Yeah, that's how you need to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, what about like actual junglers like Enigma or Chen or whatever?
We typically don't have a lot of junglers in the stack.
Okay.
We'll have usually just a single off lane, you know, the mid doing his thing, getting ganks every now and then, and then me in safe lane.
Okay, that's kind of a weakness, but it's okay. It's like it's not like you guys are playing for TI or anything, so no
Right.
worries there. Okay. So, you seem fine. I don't think you're missing out on like too many really, really important heroes. Other than like the junglers, I think those are important, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Okay, so this is fine.
So you would trade out one of the, I imagine, the position 4 for a jungler, ideally.
Yeah. Well, the support or the position 4 would be the jungler. So you, like instead of running Spearbreaker or Omni or whatever, you would run a jungler. You could still run both, but it's a little bit weird.
Right.
Because like SB and Omni are not lane supports, so I don't know. There are like specific situations that you would run that kind of composition, but most of the time it's not going to happen. Okay. So what about offlane heroes?
That's our position that's, you know, gets traded out to a new guy all the time.
Okay.
We have a guy who plays Morphling all the time. He does that very well.
Offlane. Okay, interesting.
Yep. He goes the shotgun build, you know, the E-Blade and all that.
Wait, he goes offlane Morphling with shotgun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it works. Maybe it's just because we're in the shit tier.
What MMR is that guy?
I don't know, actually.
Okay.
He doesn't have it on his profile.
Alright, that's odd. Because in order to do that, you need to get a lot of farm. And in order to get a lot of farm in the offlane, you need to be way better than who you're playing against. Or you need to have like a really beneficial matchup. So that's a little weird, but we'll put it down, I guess. Okay. So what about like the staple offliners, like Tide, Nature's Prophet, Beastmaster, Ench? Any of those?
Well,
Darkseer as well.
Yeah, the guy that actually plays that position 4 CM does play Darkseer as well, and occasionally we'll throw him up there.
Okay.
We have another guy who'll play Brood in the offlane, just constantly making space.
Okay.
Occasionally we'll have a bounty up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then I'll take offlane with a Weaver or something like that, but...
Okay, that's some weird shit. So you guys have some, like, offlane hero difficulties, for sure. You don't play anything standard, which isn't necessarily bad, it's just weird. Harder to talk about, for sure. But, okay, so this is all fine. So how often do you guys rotate, like, offlaners? Is it like a every night kind of thing?
Well, we seem to have trouble actually getting... That fifth guy is always not, you know... Not on at the same time, so we are stuck with pulling in randos.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So that's whatever. Is this just a stack, or do you guys want to play like competitively, like you know, sign up for JDL or something?
I mean, if it goes down the road and everybody's committed enough, I wouldn't be against it. But right now, we're just doing it for fun.
Okay, that's fine. So in that case, like, if it's a competitive team, I would say like you guys should just stick to your roles, but it's fine to mix and match then. I just, like, for fun purposes, you should probably have the mid play, or the 4.5k guy play mid or carry, and, you know, just have higher MMR players on core roles if possible, depending on, you know, how it goes, but anyway, it doesn't matter so much. Okay, so this is the hero pool, that's fine. Okay, also, do your supports play bounty at all?
The position 4 does.
Okay, cool, that's fine. I just need one of those. Okay. So, I mean, this is all pretty standard. Why don't we just look at, like, conditions of having a good composition, and then, like, try to build around it,
Okay.
like using the other heroes. So how do I want to organize this? Alright, so let's write in this color. Okay. So, there are, like, certain roles that you need to have for pretty much every composition. This doesn't apply to competitive games, mostly. Well, a lot of it does apply to competitive games, but it's a little different. I'm not going to go into reasons why. I don't think it's helpful. But, okay. So, first rule is basically, like, you need some kind of catch, right? Like, you need... Actually, let's do that after. So, you need some kind of damage. Like, this is, like, the very basic rule, right? Like, you need to be able to effectively damage your opponents. So, it could be, you know, OD, TA, Invoker, whatever. in certain situations anyway. Like, for example, if the enemy team picks a lot of BKB heroes, then you wouldn't pick the Zeus, for example. Like, if
Right.
it just doesn't make sense. Well, you might, but, you know, for other reasons, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so the first thing is that you need is damage. That might seem really obvious, but a lot of people forget. Damage is the most important thing. Okay. So next thing is catch / CC. So in order for people to do damage, usually you need some kind of CC. And again, this might seem basic, but it's very standard. I'll get into more complicated stuff in a sec. So this is usually like range / blink people. So like, how do I want to do this? So like Sand King. Who else? Okay, Lion is a good one. So let's just do Lion or Sand King. Something like that. Like just heroes that either blink or just have long range stuns. So this is fine. Okay. So, okay, this is probably not the best program for this, but whatever. We're in there.
Yeah, it's working.
Yep. Okay, so next thing is like, depending on what you're playing against, you need some kind of adaptable defensive hero. So, adaptable defense, let's go with that. Okay. So, for example, if you're playing against, like, Clockwork, for example, so if you're playing against Clock, you would go with a Rubik's support, or something like that. Somebody who can, like, physically change Clockwork's position. Or you could also go with, like, Venge into Void. Or, okay, other way around. So, Void into Venge, because you can swap people out of Chrono. And that's, like, a very good defensive tool. Or, like, Dazzle into, or, fuck, I keep missing out. Alright. You know, Dazzle. So, like, obviously, Lina does a ton of single target damage, and Dazzle, Dazzle has Shallow Grave, so it's very good. This is, like, optional, but it's usually pretty important to have some kind of way to negate the enemy team. Usually it's a support role, but it could be something like OD as well. Yeah. Usually support. Okay. That's fine. Okay, and you also need wave clear. Push. Okay, so actually we'll put that after. So you need push. So it's one thing to be able to do damage, but if you can't damage towers, then it doesn't really matter. These are also kind of in like some kind of priority list too, just so that's clear. Okay, so push is like tower hitting ability, just the ability to break towers, whether it's like, you know, Sven, who does a ton of physical damage, or, okay, so let's write that. Or Nature's Prophet, who does pretty good damage, but it's really more a split push. Or it could be a sieging hero like, not Sniper, but, you know, in that kind of same role, where like you can hit towers pretty safely. I'll try to find one that's a good example of that. Fuck. Oh, Dragon Knight. Okay, that's perfect. Or Dragon Knight. Siege. So you need some kind of push, usually. If you don't have push, then you need like insane teamfight or insane split pushing ability. But usually the split pushing comes with, you know, some kind of pushing power. So.
And just a question here: you would put push all the way in 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't do the pushing thing unless you have really good split push, or unless you are able to fight. So like this is still really important. Like these are all important things. It's just like push is slightly less important than being able to team fight.
Okay.
In my opinion, anyway. Or maybe not necessarily team fight, just like skirmish. You know, have like 2v2s or 3v3s or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, because the pushing doesn't happen without without being able to fight or split push. So yeah. Okay. So next thing is wave clear. This is still really important. I had trouble like deciding where to put this, but I decided it's like slightly less important than push. I fucked it up. All right. Okay. So wave clear. And what I mean by this is just like ranged AoE nukes, or like the ability to instantly kill creep waves. Basically, this is just like the best way to defend your towers. Is just killing the creep waves by far, or before they get to the tower. So like Lina, Coddle, Rubik, all these things. You never want to be in a situation where like the enemy team can just run you over because they have like a lot of summons, or they can just hit your towers and you don't have heroes to kill creeps. Not only is this important for this reason, but it also like helps with rotations. So you can like send a support top, and they can push a wave top really quick, and then go to Rosh or something, and that puts pressure on top lane while you're also going to Rosh.
Right.
Very scrappy example, obviously, but yeah. Okay, so these are the most important things, I would say anyway. So damage, catch, defense, push. I can't think of anything else that I'm missing. I mean, I guess the ability to scale, but that's like, that comes with damage, right? Like, I suppose initiation, but this is like also catch, so I'm not going to count that.
Yeah, I would imagine that would go into 2.
Yeah. Okay, I think this seems fine to me. So these are like the things you need to look out for. Anyway, like I would say most good compositions will have some form of this going on. Obviously, there might be some where they're very focused on like pushing or damage or CC or defense or whatever, but don't worry about that so much. Like if you're just playing pubs, it doesn't matter. If you have these things, then you'll be fine. At least for the draft. Yeah. So I think these are the best guidelines I can come up with. Okay. So let's give some examples here. Okay. How am I gonna fucking do this? Okay. Yeah, so I'm going here. It's gonna be extremely ghetto, but it's okay. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so obvious ones are like OD. This is for damage. I guess I should like color code them. Fuck, I should have done that. Okay, whatever. Okay. So OD plus OD Invoker TA, something like that. These are fine. Actually, let's do primarily damage focused heroes. So Zeus, DP. Then, okay, so for the next one, it'll be, okay, this is fine. Oh, shit, okay. So for catch and CC, obviously Lion, Sand King. Okay, that's fine. Okay, defense, obvious ones are like Dazzle. Okay, so Dazzle, Oracle, Venge as well.
Right.
Okay, and pushing would be like Dragon Knight. I'll do green. Okay. DK, Nature's Prophet, Sven. Not really Sven. I'll put Tiny instead. Okay. So wave clear. Wave clear could be like fucking anything, but I'll still give examples. Okay, we'll do pink. Great. Okay. So Lena is good. Coddle. I mean, I guess Rubik as well, but I already have it written down, but whatever. It's good enough. But, okay. So, and then you have weird picks that, like, that cover both categories, or, like, a few different categories. So,
Right.
For example, like, how am I going to do this? Okay. So, now that I'm thinking about it, I shouldn't have done colors here, but it's okay. So, okay. So this would be Invoker, because he has damage, CC, and he also has wave clear as well. And he's also pretty good at pushing. So, like, really, Invoker is just, like... I'll actually do this. Okay, so he has fucking everything. So, this is why Invoker is such a good pick, by the way. It's just he's good at everything.
You think he's going to get nerfed?
I don't think he'll be too nerfed, but I think he's going to get something.
Yeah.
It's not going to be great for him. But, yeah. Okay, why can't I draw a new line? Alright, whatever. Alright, so here we go. Okay, I hope this is like readable, but yeah. Okay. I'm also not leaving that much room for whatever else, but you know, we're good. We'll make it work. Okay. So Invoker's like the shit. He does everything.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, then there are heroes that like go in between. I'm not going to waste your time by like going for examples, unless that's what you want to do. In which case I don't mind, but yeah. So just know that there's a lot of overlap in all these that you need to keep in mind. Like, generally for the first 2 picks, you want to get like something that does a lot of different things. So like, that's why Lion is commonly seen first 2, or Invoker as well, or OD as well, because OD has catch, CC, defense, or he has catch and CC, damage. He's like fairly defensive. Yeah. Or like you could pick Nature's Prophet early because he has good push, he can wave clear, and constantly pressure the lanes. He has damage, he has CC, he's all that stuff. Or Venge, like she has CC, defense, and like moderate damage, even if it's like not direct damage. It's like she does damage in the sense that she shreds armor and her teammates do more damage.
Right. Problem with Invoker is every time that we try to work him in, because I'd love to throw our mid on Invoker every single time, but he gets immediately banned, like first ban, because we play Katniss mode.
Yeah, no, that's gonna happen for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise,
yeah, no, I mean that's gonna happen for sure. It's just like this is, the kind of end all be all thing for heroes.
Yeah.
Or that's what I wanted to show, for example. But either way, yeah. Okay.
But basically, the idea is to cover all 5 categories with your picks.
Yeah, at least in some way. That's the most important thing. So I'm gonna save this really quick. Okay, so I'm teaming good. Shit. Okay, so I'll send this afterward. That's fine. So yeah, just cover the bases and this will be fine. It doesn't need to get more complicated than this, really. I think this might even be like too complicated for pubs, honestly, but this is the general idea.
Okay.
Okay, so now what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about like drafting order? Or
no, I mean I think that we have that down. We don't give away too much in the beginning. What I'm kind of looking at is how to construct I mean, these are the core concepts that should always be covered, kind of the fundamentals, and I get that.
Right.
Those applied to a type of 5-man strat, even if it's cheesy, it'll boost the I don't know, push maybe, or team fight, something like that. I mean, I've seen it happen. It's happened to us, and it worked very well. For example, that stupid tree Ricky thing with Ricky's new little ult and the tree ult.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Rough. Yeah, it worked though.
So, I mean, like part of this is like you can make any kind of strategy. I mean, I can just give you like a basic like 1-1-3 strat, like where it's you farm up, you go for ganks mid game, and you try to team fight as well.
Yeah, whatever you think.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll just add onto this, I guess. Okay. So, comp ideas. Okay, so let's think about this for a sec. Okay, so you want your mid, obviously. Okay, so you want some kind of like damaging in mid, usually, like some kind of core hero that's gonna farm, gonna do a lot of damage. Okay, I'll actually specify this.
So let's say hypothetically we put him on TA. That fits, right?
Sort of, yeah. I don't think she's that good right now, but either way, we could like we could put him on TA. We could do OD, Zeus. Like this is the problem. Is like this is like my idea of a composition is like any of these heroes together. But either way, we'll like do something specific, I guess. Fuck. Okay. So mid. Okay. So this is fine. Mid, we could do like TA, like you said. Let's entertain the idea of building a comp around TA. So, what TA does is she gives a lot of damage. She has okay catch. I almost want to add mobility to this list, but I don't think it's. I think it's important, but it's like more of a hero-to-hero basis. But okay. So she has really high damage, moderate catch and CC. Oh fuck, laning ability. Okay. So lanes are important as well, but okay, whatever. So she has good damage, CC, very little defense. She's like pretty glass cannony. She has like good survivability, but she's not like she's not that defensive, if that makes sense.
Right.
And she also pushes really well. Like either through split pushing or just like sieging. Either one is good, and she can wave clear. So she's got a lot covered. So actually, I'm just gonna write this down. Okay, so mid, TA, and she covers damage. She covers catch. No, I won't say she covers catch. So damage, push, and CC, or soft CC. Okay, that seems fine to me. So you have a lot of bases covered with this pick, and obviously you don't pick this first, but
right.
Okay. So and then you want supports that complement TA. So since TA has damage, you want some kind of CC, like heavy emphasis on CC and defensive capabilities. So
Lion would fit here then.
Yeah, so Lion would be great, exactly. So heavy CC. So Lion is good. Who else? Let's look. Enigma would also be pretty good, depending on what's going on.
Maybe Venge.
For that. Yeah, Venge is good too, but for a different reason. I'll get to her in a sec. Naga support is pretty good, but you don't play that. Okay, Rasta is good if you play him. Okay, we'll just do like Lion, CM, Rasta. Okay, so these are all fine because they have like different ways to stun it and CC heroes and stuff. So that's fine. Okay. Then defensive support. So you said Venge was good here, but it's basically like Venge is good in the sense that, you know, TA and Venge synergize together. They both shred armor, but she's also good because she can get Venge or get TA out of really bad situations. So like if she gets chronoed, or if
right,
like she gets stunned or something like that, then it's good. So ideally you have something that synergizes with both, right? Like you get CC and or you get some kind of defense, CC, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, so Venge is a great example. Dazzle is pretty good as well, just for the same armor shred kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And he can save her.
Yeah, no, and he can save her, yep. That's the primary focus, is he needs, like, since you're running a hero that's, like, you know, so focused on doing a ton of damage, you need some ways to, like, make sure they can do damage, either through CC or, you know, defending them.
Mm-hmm.
Bane is also okay as well. It's not bad. But yeah. Okay. So, what do we have covered? We have damage, we have CC, we have some kind of defense here, and we're missing out on probably some more damage, just because like TA can't win the game by herself. So here we need a carry that's going to do a lot of damage as well, or is going to provide a lot of CC, so that the offlaner can do more damage. Usually it works the other way around though, right? Like carry does more damage than the offlaner in most cases.
Right.
So, what would you run as a carry?
Well, it looks like here maybe Sven would be the best bet.
Yep, Sven is pretty good. The only problem with Sven is like you're very all in on physical damage. So if the other team gets like a lot of armor or like disarms or something like that, or ghost scepters, then you're gonna run into like obstacles. Not necessarily like, you know, insurmountable ones, but they'll be tricky.
Right.
So Sven isn't bad. It's just heavy physical damage. Need armor shred or purges for diffusal, or purges for like ghost scepters or whatever. So yeah, Sven is fine though for sure.
Is there something else that you would suggest over that? Maybe like a Razor? Would a Razor fit?
Well, the problem with Razor is like he gives decent damage, but really he's more like frontliney.
Okay.
He doesn't give that much damage. I think Razor is more of a counter pick than anything. So like, you know, if the other team picks Sven or like Jug or something, then you can go Razor.
Right.
So I would say like you could go PL, PL Jug. You could also, not really Ursa. They're weak to the same things. You could go Spectre actually. Spectre is probably pretty good. I'll actually put Spectre first. So Spec, PL, Jug. So like these are all pretty good in my opinion. Spectre is really good in a lot of cases because like she gives so much spread out damage, whereas TA is very bursty. So like if Spectre softens up a target with Radiance, like gets them to 70% with Haunt,
right,
then you know TA can jump in and burst them. Obviously this is like very general stuff and doesn't apply to every case, but yeah. Okay, so this seems relatively fine to me. You just need to make sure you prioritize damage in most cases, or prioritize like either heavy damage or like some kind of damage facilitation with CC. So damage or CC, I guess.
As the spec. Right.
As carry.
Okay. So let's say hypothetically I do go spec. with the build that we talked about earlier, which seems to be very HP based as opposed to rushing Radiance. How does that fit in with this?
Do you mean the Manta build?
Yeah, like earn first and all that. Treads, like really tank up with all those smaller items.
I don't advocate treads. You always go phase, but
or phase, yeah. My
yeah,
bad.
Either way. So I mean, this fits in a sense that like you're just good at killing things. I think Radiance has more natural synergy with TA, but it's not bad. Like you can go either build. And Spectre does pretty good spread damage even without Radiance. So
for sure. Where would you put the Radiance then, item wise, like progression?
If you get it at all right after Manta.
Okay.
Or you could go Manta Diffusal as well, depending. Like, if you need the purges and you go Diffusal after Manta, then go Radiance. But you could talk about this for hours. So just generally, like after Manta, if you're going for Manta first. If you're playing against like Omni Knight, then you can go Diffusal after Manta. That's fine as well.
And you would suggest always going Manta as like first real item?
No. No.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. Like that's the problem with like answering questions like this is it's so situational.
Okay.
Like you go Radiance in games where Radiance is better, but you go Manta in games where Manta is better.
Okay.
I realize how not helpful that is, but yeah. Basically, like long story short, if you can chase down core heroes and kill them with Manta, like a Zeus or something, then you go Manta. If you can't, then go Radiance. That's like the extremely general answer, but I think it gets the job done.
Yeah. The screen sharing thing just turned off, by the way.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll fix that in a sec.
But yeah, I can see why that would be difficult to explain. I know it's situational.
Yeah, it's like there's so many different things. Like I need to know what heroes you're playing against, how much gold they have, how much gold your teammates have, what heroes are on your team, like where heroes are positioned, what towers are down, like all that kind of shit. So definitely like, yeah, just go with the last answer. Okay, so finally offlane heroes. Okay, so since we've been so focused on like wave clear and damage, and not really so much on CC, you generally want some kind of control hero in this case.
Mm-hmm.
So like Tidehunter is really good. Okay, so I'll put
right.
So Tide, Slardar, Darkseer. You want to stay away from heroes that are like Nature's Prophet or Enchantress, where like they provide a lot of damage and map pressure, but they don't provide a lot of control. Because like these heroes can't do their job if they can't hit their targets.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, so in this lineup, that offlane pretty much has to be some type of mass CC, like an Enigma and a Tide and all that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it doesn't have to be mass CC, but it needs to be some kind of control. Yeah, Beastmaster as well. That's fine. Yeah, just pretty much any kind of hero with a stun is fine. You don't have to get fancier than that.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is like I realize it's not a specific composition, but these are heroes that are centered around TA, in general. Also, it wouldn't be bad to just replace TA with like OD or something. I mean, this would still work totally fine. Or Zeus even.
Right. Yeah, he does play all three.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, cool. So I'll just save this again. All right. So that's fine. Okay, so what do you want to do now? If you want to go over this some more, or do you want to jump into a replay, or what?
Could we do something like this where you would basically just real fast, like we don't have to go into this type of detail, but give me an idea of how I would need to build around that Abby core offlane?
Sure. So instead of, long story short, it's honestly just like instead of running a control offlane, you would run a control mid hero. So like Puck or Beastmaster, something like that. Let me try to find an example. Magnus also would work. But yeah, you basically just need to like, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just run a control hero mid. Or you could even do it safe lane. Like you could run safe lane Centaur or something, but the easy answer is like Mag or Puck offlane, or mid rather. I think those are the big ones that I see.
And otherwise,
or Batrider mid.
Build is pretty solid.
Yeah, otherwise it's pretty simple. Like that's why I gave you like general guidelines like this, is because these are always good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah, let's hop into a replay.
Okay.
think we've covered the builds on quite a few of them. Maybe Sven?
Okay, sure. So this one, the 9-0 one?
I don't know about that.
Okay, sure.
I gotta hop into Dota buff and see.
Yeah, sure. Take your time.
Because I'd prefer it not to be normal skill. I'd prefer it to be, that it was actually a challenge or whatever.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it looks like, unless we go all the way back to the ones that we were already looking at before, we may just have to stop off at this Sven one here.
Okay, that's fine.
You see which one I'm talking about? The 228-170 one?
Oh, 228-170. One sec. Oh, you meant the match ID. All right. 22. Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay. So I don't see anything that's like extremely wrong right away. You have no S and Y, so that's probably extremely wrong. That's acceptable, but honestly, like, you need to run faster in most cases.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I actually usually used to get phase. Tell me if you hate that or not.
I hate that.
Okay.
Not for
specifically for that.
Yeah, no, you definitely need to run faster. The problem with going phase though is like you have no attack speed. Like
right.
Your first attack speed item is treads on Sven, and I guess you go S and Y pretty close after that, but usually that's not enough if you stun somebody. Like you want to get more hits off.
Mm.
But yeah.
Does the mobility problem get solved with blink?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe if you're a robot. Maybe if you blink perfectly every time into the right position, no matter what.
Right.
But I mean, I can't do that. I know RTZ can't do that. So, RTZ builds S and Y. So yeah.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, let's watch this. Okay. Yeah, I generally like. I tried to get people to think about builds like a little bit, but most of the time cookie cutter builds are perfectly fine until you're up to like 4.5k or so, or 5k. Like, still obviously think about your builds like after your S and Y, but that's pretty much the staple item on Sven is HRD S and Y and treads. So you don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm assuming you don't want to talk about the draft. It's just like a Sven game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think our lane supports are pretty solid, right?
Yeah, no, the lane supports are great. It's totally fine. Well, the Wyvern is a little weird, but it's good this game because they have a lot of right clickers. But yeah. Okay, so items look fine. I don't usually buy clarities, but it's not bad by any means. I wouldn't skill your stun right away. It's good, but there are some situations in lane where you're going to want to start with Warcry if you're trading a lot with somebody. It's like a very low commitment mana cost, and you can also like win trades with it. So I recommend saving your point.
Okay.
But yeah, also your guys' positioning is bad here. Like you shouldn't be down this hill.
Right.
It's okay for Witch Doctor to be in here, but like even then he could be seen like on his way. So you should just be like back here. You could maybe have one person like sitting here or something, but you don't want to just like show all your heroes here. Because now these guys can go for top run pretty safely if they get seen, or if these guys see you. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Don't want to do this, but it's all good.
I typically do keep the point until I'm actually in lane. But Sven was one of those that I just thought, just always throw the point and stun. But,
yeah, it's not like this isn't going to kill you by any means. It's just like there are some situations where you might want Warcry. So I recommend saving just for those.
Right on. Right on.
Okay, also, I'm not sure if you clicked on these guys at all, but it's important. You want to check their items. They both have 2 sets of regen. The branches are interesting, but yeah. Okay, so the equilibrium is already messed up, and it's because of Wyvern mostly. A couple reasons, actually. Okay. So the main reason is Wyvern took the aggro of the range creep, right? Like, that's obvious.
Okay.
But he also could have recovered here by just like starting to deny this creep. Since this creep is running away, it's not going to be getting hit by your creeps right now, so you can get a hit off onto your creep while you're chasing
my
it.
creep to fix the equilibrium. Yep.
Yeah, and also since this is happening, like the wave is going to reset, right? So like this creep is going to run past. Like, for whatever reason, it just ran past. So you could react here and just say, like, okay, this creep isn't going to die, so I don't need to kill it, and the equilibrium will be fine if I just, like, keep denying. So if you didn't kill this creep, you would still have, like, 4 enemy creeps hitting your creeps. So that would make a big difference here. But now the equilibrium is going to be a little bit messed up because of Wyvern and because of, you know, what you did not do.
Right. I will be sure to flame him later on for that, though.
Yeah, I know. Tell him my city sucks, personally. No. Okay. So you're going by boots. This is fine. You shouldn't be afraid here, really. Like, you have 2 range creeps here. You also have Warcry, or you should have Warcry anyway. So you should, like, not feel any fear when you're going for the CS. Like, the worst they could do to you is double stun you, but they're also tanking, like, all this damage that whole time. And if you just Warcry before the stun hits, you're fine. You won't die. You won't even be close. And, like, maybe you can even get a turnaround, like, good trade with stun or something. So don't be afraid to go for CS here. Now, it's a little different, like, when Slardar is 6, or he's, like, 5 or something, and he has a lot more damage, but at this point in the game, you don't have to worry when you have the creep advantage anyway.
Okay, so just so I can visualize it,
Sure.
I would Warcry away from the Slardar stun, right? But if the Venge caught me, Slardar could come up and stun me, or am I understanding that wrong?
Yeah, you're understanding wrong. So the Warcry is for the armor. So basically, like, when a stun is about to hit you, either, like, Slardar is slithering crushing, like, in the process of doing it, or Magic Missile is about to hit you, then you Warcry right before that. So when they're hitting you while you're stunned, you have extra armor.
Okay. Gotcha.
I mean, I guess you could try to Warcry dodge like, physically dodge the stun, but that'd be pretty next level. I don't...
Right, I thought that's what you meant, was
no.
Warcry out of the Slardar stun.
I'm not trying to train Neo here. That's it. We're all good. Okay. So I don't like what just happened there.
The pull?
Yeah. And I'm not gonna try to critique your team too much.
No, by all means. It's needed.
Okay. Yeah, so you shouldn't have single pulled here because, like, the double pull is, you know, clearly open here. They did block it, but still. You have no way of knowing this without pulling it. But you should always double pull, pretty much, or connect the pulls, rather. Or at least stack before you pull. Like, now this lane is going to push really hard. It's going to go to the enemy's tower, and they're going to get a ton of EXP. So you don't want to do this. There is a way you can prevent this, actually, though, is if you see your support is single pulling, then you can tank this creep wave in front of your tower, and hope to God that these guys don't stun you.
That's actually what we've been trying to do. I'm not sure if I did it in this game or not, but the other guy, the mid, suggested, when he plays Fen at least he does this, is he puts a shitload of points in cleave.
Yeah.
They pull, and he sits there and tanks it, usually with some type of lifesteal, the lifesteal part of the HOD.
Yeah. That's what you do later, for sure. That's the best thing to do. Is just your support chain pulse gets a shit ton of levels, and you just, like,
tank the wave.
Yeah, you just push, because you're Sven. But you can't do that right now, because you don't have cleave, for number 1, and this also wouldn't be enough to just tank. But what I was suggesting was very similar to that, where instead of killing the wave, you just tank it in front of your tower. Because if you tank it right here, like you pop Warcry, eat a Tango, the creep wave stays here, this creep wave meets it, and then it's like you have a wave that's pushing to you, but it's not like under your tower pushing to you. And then, like, the next creep waves will roll in, and you can, like, slowly trim the wave so that it just, like, resets the equilibrium here. So that's how you counter a single pull without having to push. The only problem with this is they can pressure you. So if you're just sitting here tanking 4 creeps, these guys are like, holy shit, I need to stun this guy. This is going to be great. So yeah, you need to be careful of that. But you can watch for those things. Like, if they react to you and try to pressure you, then you just run away. Okay. So this is still not horrible. It's going to push, but yeah. You definitely want to focus a little bit more on denying, but it's all good. Okay. I mean, the execution was a little bit bad here. So basically what you want to do in this situation, when Witch Doctor lands Maledict, you want to try to double stun these guys if possible. If you miss that opportunity, then the best thing you can do is just, like, Warcry and run at him, and try to stun him, like, as he's stunning. So either you cancel the duration and just like they nullify each other, or you can stun him and interrupt the animation. Either one is good. Ideally, also the cast was a bit sooner, but it's whatever. It's all really minor stuff. I think this
Should
was
he have opened with cast?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because like these two heroes are really close. The only downside of that is it could bounce to a creep, but
right.
Yeah, it could bounce to this creep once, and that would suck. But either way. Okay. Either way, this is like an extremely beneficial trade. Like this is really good for you guys. You're gonna make them use a ton of regen here. Like Sarda has to salve, and that's not even gonna get him to full. So, yeah, totally fine.
Oh, look at it go!
Denied.
Okay. Yeah, this was. You don't have mana, never mind. Okay. I was gonna say you could stun right here if you had the mana, but you don't, so that's what I did. So this guy, yeah, he is okay.
No. Betwixt myself.
Okay.
First blood.
So basically, once you hit 5, that's around the time that you should start leveling cleave, and like just start pushing really fast if you want to go for that shot anyway. That's pretty good. Oh, wait. Okay, I don't like this. So what happened here? Like I guarantee this would happen. Is Witch Doctor was like, "Holy shit, I need help," or like, you know, "Yo, come here," like something like that. Because you just ran over without even looking, and I don't like that. You should always look before you do anything.
Yeah, I think they did say something.
Yeah, no, that's what happened here. Like,
Or I was watching on the mini-map or one of the others, yeah.
Yeah, but either way, you need to check. Maybe it is a good opportunity to go in, right? But you can't know unless, like, you actually go.
Yeah. Right.
Now, it's different if, like, you're playing with PPD or somebody, like, you know, the best support players in the world. Then you go when they tell you to go. But in this case, like, I'm not saying don't trust this guy, but definitely look for yourself. Yeah, you just need to gather that information.
Right on.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, you definitely don't need 2 points of stun. It's not bad because you guys have kill potential on like any of these heroes, but I think going for the safer cleave build is better, or just like saving your points for a little bit. Like technically these guys aren't supposed to die. It's just like if they misposition, you can kill them. So that's why I prefer cleave, because it's like guaranteed farm. But
right.
You could make an argument for people like not playing perfectly every game. So yeah. So here is definitely the point where you would start pushing though. If you did you? I think you got a point in stats. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
That is not good. You don't want to do that. Yeah, never do that, ever. Okay, alright. Yeah, so this is like, it's not beneficial, basically. That's just all it is. Is like, the cleave points are way more high value, or way higher value. Even Warcry would be higher value than stats. Okay. Like, if you're going for stats pre-16 on Sven, you need to have Great Cleave maxed and Warcry maxed. It's okay to skip out on Stormhammer points after you get 1 level, but yeah, never go stats before you have these 2 skills maxed, basically. That's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. I think my reasoning was the lack of mana. I mean, his mana pool is shit. So I can only stun, I mean, I can only, you know, actually use maybe 2 spells before I'm out.
Okay, that's sort of valid. But, like, okay, I can't look at int without this replay thing popping up, so let's try this. Alright, there we go. So, when you get 1 point in stats, you get 13 mana per level, like per point in stats, or per point of intelligence, rather. So that's 26 mana with 1 skill point. So you get 1 more cast of Warcry. So it's shit, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like, stats are good when you can get multiple points in them. The only other exception would be, like, if you get a point in stats, and that allows you to cast, like, 2 Stormhammers, a Warcry, and God Strength, or something like that. If you had given me that for an answer, then that would be totally acceptable. Like, if you did the math fucking right on, go for it, dude. But either way, I think getting points in cleave would be more beneficial for those reasons.
Look at it go.
Okay. Let's look at this. First off, your positioning is like kind of poor here. You just shouldn't be towards the top. Like this is like, you don't know where anyone is in here, so you should just be positioned towards the bottom here. So that's pretty important actually. But either way, it's all good. Okay, he amplifies a creep. That's rough, but either way.
I think I still would have gotten away though.
Yeah, no, you definitely would have, because he amplified you after. So, yeah, either way, that's kind of silly, but it's all good. Okay, so yeah, you just go back to base. Good.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So definitely, I don't think there are many situations where you go Stormhammer max. To be honest, I just think you don't scale fast enough if you do this. If you like, maybe if you get a really fast blink, you could go for it. But if you're going HOD, definitely don't do this.
Okay.
Definitely max cleave. I mean,
so if I can't, go ahead.
I always max cleave basically. There are situations where like you need to max Stormhammer, but even in pubs, even in those situations, it's usually better to get cleave, just because you can guarantee that you get farm. If that makes sense.
For sure.
Okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Okay. So let's watch once more. I think this was okay.
Dire's middle
Okay,
tower
so
has fallen.
Wyvern is running around. Okay, so this is the issue. Is like, if you were gonna go here, you needed to stun right away. That way, like he doesn't get that distance. It's kind of just like a bad go, to be honest, because it's really tough for you guys to get this kill. He just needs to be up closer, or Worst Doctor needs to go around if you're gonna do that, because then you have another stun to follow up with. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because like this stun duration is completely used on you running to him. You don't even get a hit off before he's out of stun.
Right.
It's pretty close, but yeah. Yeah, I don't think this was a kill, even if the Maledict hits. So like you just got to either stun earlier or have Witch Doctor go around. I think that makes more sense. But even then, I don't think that's supposed to be a kill. Here you could just push and it would be fine. Yep, help Warcry. Also, you should Shred Swap even when you cast Warcry. That helps.
Gotcha.
Okay. Here you should just go jungle.
Well,
I guess you can't because you don't have cleave. Well, you can, but it's like pretty slow. So part of the reason cleave is so good is just because you can push the wave, then go to the hard camp, then go to small camp, and just like keep doing that triangle. Or you could have your support pull a small camp, and you can just like push the wave, then go to these two camps or whatever.
Right.
Tower is under attack.
I think I may try actually doing just that. Constantly pulling, doing the wave and the two.
Yeah, if you're dual queued with somebody, or like, you know, you have a support that you're queued with, then that's great. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, no, believe me.
Guy's in there. I mean, that's actually good. Like, this is actually a good play. I'm not shitting you. Like, so this is good because he forced TPs, right? Like, when he does this shit, like, not only does he kill the offlaner guaranteed, well, actually, so it worked out well, but it's bad because, like, this guy messed up. Yeah. So, like, if Sardar's stunned, he just dies, and nothing you can do. But it worked out because, like, this Dazzle TP'd. So now that, like, Dazzle TP'd, every other lane knows that, like, Dazzle can't be there. In this case, like, nobody is around here, so it's a little weird, but yeah. Yeah, so it's actually not bad. That's a lot of space, to be honest.
Right on.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay.
It's a very ambitious TP from Viper.
Yeah, he just kind of ran in. Alright.
Oh, he didn't even TP.
Yeah, he just ran in. That was interesting.
Radiant's top tower
Okay, I have nothing to say about that. Good work.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Excellent. The only thing I have an issue with here is, like, you guys are just, like, randomly deciding to push. And it's working out, but it's mostly because these guys are literally just, like, feeding intentionally. I mean, that's what it seems like, right? Like, they're just running into you.
Right.
It's like, this wouldn't work if they were pushing, like, other lanes and, like, pressuring and stuff. So yeah, I don't think this is, like, the best play in the world. It's not horrible, and you're capitalizing on their mistakes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping to find a high skill match.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Is under attack. Dire's bottom
Radiant's
tower
top tower
is under attack.
Okay, you finally get the creep. That's good. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower
I'd imagine
is
this game
under
gets
attack.
pretty out of control pretty quickly, judging by your score last time.
Yeah.
We'll see though. Okay. You generally want to save God Strength for this, like when it's a bigger stack. So I think this is only a 2 stack, right? Yeah, it was just a 2 stack.
Yep.
So you should just wait until it's like a 4, basically. You can do 4 pretty reliably, as long as you're paying attention. And it's just like, you don't want to spend too much time here, basically, is the idea. Also, it's much easier to do if you have cleave, but yeah. So rather than doing this, you could like clear bottom jungle, like downwards, then push bottom, then TP here, and then do it. And by then you'll like have stacked it, 2 more times or something like that. So that makes more sense to me anyway.
For sure.
Okay. So yeah, they're just loose.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, so is this the only game that you had? Because at this point, like, I mean, I can kind of tell that you guys are better than them. And it's not necessarily bad, and we'll be able to learn stuff, but I don't want to, like, sit here and waste your time.
I understand. There's just not a lot to be learned from,
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Okay.
and not a challenging opponent, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can still learn stuff. Like, I'll be able to find mistakes guaranteed, but I don't think, like, that's... I didn't do coaching so I could, like, scrape people and, like, take their money for, like, telling them, like, oh, you messed up, this little tiny, minute thing that didn't matter, actually.
Right,
But,
right.
Yeah.
Let me hop back on Dota Buff and see.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, there's a ranked high skill PL game that we lost,
Okay. Let me find it.
and that was actually with the 5 stack.
Okay.
It's a very frustrating game. I would love to know.
Was that random draft?
It was a random draft. Yeah, the match ID is 227-328-0682.
Okay, yep, got it. Okay, so definitely a rough laning phase, as to say the least. Good Invoker, okay, that's the first issue you have. PA got really big as well, which is weird. PA is actually pretty good against PL, like, in a weird way. Just because, like, PL doesn't really naturally itemize towards MKB. And she naturally itemizes towards Battle Fury, so it's
Right.
a little interesting.
In fact,
Elder
I think
Titan.
that... Go ahead.
Elder Titan is interesting against you because you're a very high armor hero, and it's base armor, so he's actually pretty good. Skywrath obviously good. Any silence against PL is great. The rest are like mediocre. What were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say, confirming exactly what you said, the cleave with the crit
okay.
on PA just cleared out all the illusions. And
Yeah.
the-
You definitely need to farm really well to play against her. Okay. I'd imagine this was just like a laning phase thing. Let's see how it goes though. Yeah.
One of the biggest things that we have is a disagreement as to which lane needs the attention. We'll have a support, like mid will need a gank or whatever. Sure. But they'll tend to stay up there, you know. I think it was some pro matches that would have an Earthshaker kind of babysit mid all the time.
Yeah.
And I guess that he thinks that he should always be doing that, but then they just jump on safe lane.
Well, it's a trade-off, right? Like, you trade the mid getting a farm for the safe lane, you know, potentially losing some. Ideally, like, it's so stupid, again, but you just pick the best configuration for, like, that particular game. So, like, if mid does need help, then yeah, you should help out with the mid. If he's gonna, like, if his farm is gonna be limited, but he's not gonna die or, like, chain feed, then it's okay. So long as, like, the hero that is supposed to be helping him, so let's say Earthshaker, is not just like sitting up here doing nothing. Generally, like, if you have a bunch of heroes top lane, or like in the safe lane, and they're not doing anything, that's when you want to like roam or like help mid or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's, I mean, that's, again, that's like a very general question. It's hard for me to answer for sure. Okay. So you went with Circlet and Clarity again. So I definitely recommend that you go with the Circlet and Wraithband recipe builds. I think it's really good, personally, if you're going for this anyway. I don't think the Clarity is that good, to be honest. It's not bad, but I think that the Wraithband is better.
Okay.
Or you could just go with Stout Shield and, you know, get the Clarity instead, and that's fine as well.
I've been picking up the old Stout Shield at the side shop.
Yeah, that's fine as well. Okay. Also, you shouldn't scale so early. You might need Doppelganger in some situations to get out.
Right.
30 seconds to battle.
And your first, especially in competitive games, your first instinct as a carry should be to buy your items and then immediately run straight in a straight line to this spot right here. You just want to scout the offlaner. It's really important.
Okay.
It's like, what does this guy have?
30 seconds
Okay,
to battle.
so it's offlane Invoker? The fuck? Okay, whatever. So this guy's gonna go block your camp right now with his offlane Invoker.
The battle
Yeah, okay.
begins.
That's triggering, but where he just placed it, but whatever, that's fine. We don't care about that guy. Okay, so you're... Okay, you have Sand King and Jakiro supports against Invoker. This guy shouldn't get anything out of lane, to be honest. Like, he should just die right here. Oh, okay, so Elder Titan is here. So it's like slightly different, but even then, like, you should just have Jakiro up here. This is wrong. You should go Dual Breath first at level 1. If Jakiro goes Ice Path at level 1, he gets a 1-second stun that does 50 damage. So it's nothing, basically. It's like a stutter step, and it does no damage. Whereas Dual Breath gives, like... Okay, gives burn damage 20 per second over 5 seconds. So, like, gives 100 damage, you know, when you factor magic resist, yada yada. Comes out to about, like, 75 damage, which is a good nuke. But it also slows for fucking 28% for 5 seconds, which is a shit ton. And it also slows attack speed. So you can't fight a Jakiro who dual breaths you, basically, because you attack slower. So rather than going for Ice Path, you should go for a dual breath, and this Invoker should just, like, die pretty much. If at any point he gets Spirit Lanced and dual breath, and you guys are both hitting him, he just dies at level 1. Because, like, he has no counterplay to that. He could cold snap one of you guys, but, like, that's not going to do much if he's running away, so yeah. This is, like, conceptually poor play on your guys' part. This might be even the reason that you guys had... fucking Dota crashed. Alright, whatever. It might be the reason that you guys had issues. Like, after the laning phase. Because, like, Invoker's gonna get a lot out of this lane if you guys don't go aggressive on him. Okay. Alright. Okay. So can't remember how far we were in. Okay, farther than this. Alright. Blah blah, Invoker is getting CS. All this is fine. Man, even bought the recipe right now. Fuck. Alright, whatever. That's fine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
First blood on the sand strikes the perfect note.
All right. So what were you scared of, like right here? Like what was making? Oh, you were running to. Okay. So basically, like since you don't have boots, if you consider like your positioning here, you can't help this guy. Like you can't be involved with this at all, unless like he just randomly runs back. But you can't rely on him doing that. So your job here is just to take advantage of the space that your supports are creating, and just get this CS. Like your job is not to go kill this guy. If he was like positioned slightly closer, like if he was here instead, then yeah, you go chase, because then you can just chase and get a Spirit Lance. But because he's so far away, like he's too far away for you to do anything, so you should just farm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The best way you can help these guys is just by farming while they're doing this, so. Yeah, they end up killing him anyway, so it's good.
First blood on the sand strikes the perfect note.
Okay. Fucking Ice Path. Very good skill. Oh, okay. So yeah, so you, like... So because, like, all of this happened, you have 2 CS at a minute and a half, and it extends to, like, 2 minutes or so. It's like right here, you know, 1.5.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. It's... I mean, like, I don't know how else to say, like, why this is bad. Basically, just, like, know that your job is to farm. And, like, your job is also to lane against your opponents, right? Like, you're supposed to get kills if you're able to. But definitely don't force them. You just gotta, like, get a little better as you play Dota at, like, assessing situations and, like, being able to tell, like, okay, I physically cannot move my hero fast enough to get to this guy if he doesn't do something really dumb. So I should just farm instead.
We'll take that.
That's like part of your job as a carry. Because like if you just farm in this case, like when ET is doing all this dumb shit and like your supports are chasing him, like he loses in that scenario. But when you chase him, he wins. Like he might give up first blood, yes, but he's also denying you a shit ton. So like your supports get farmed, but like you're missing out on a lot where you wouldn't have to. So yeah, I think that kind of like sums it up.
That's exactly the type of stuff I need.
Okay. So you also do this thing a lot where you like run back when the creep wave is not even dead. Like I don't think you should ever run back like this unless you feel unsafe, but you shouldn't feel unsafe here. But like you give up a CS, like an entire creep of experience and gold, like just because for whatever reason, maybe you alt-tabbed or something, but I don't know. But you definitely want to avoid doing this. Like this CS is still yours. Like Invoker can't really punish you. Worst case scenario, you get cold snapped and then you just doppelganger it off. Okay, yeah, that's a mistake as well. What the fuck? Did you like not see the creeps here?
I guess not.
Okay, yeah, this is pretty big. Like these guys collectively have denied you like probably 10 to 12 CS just by doing inadvertent things, and that's fucking amazing, right? Like that's offlane status. Like you're offlaning PL right here, pretty much anyway. Like just because of like this guy making space and this guy like pulling the creeps. So that's actually really interesting. But either way, so you definitely like want to avoid this. You don't want to force yourself into an offlane position. Yeah.
Yeah, it was miserable, dude. I was so tilted by the end of this game.
Yeah. But a lot of this you could have prevented, right? Like if you just went to this creep camp here and got the last hits, or if you didn't chase ET, you would have gotten more CS under the tower.
Right.
I'd imagine all of this caused you to like just get less starting items. Like your kill is a bit slower, your treads are a bit slower.
Yep, everything was.
Yeah.
I'm still behind.
So this is a big issue for sure. Like this is why I always focus on just like getting CS. Like for lower MMR players, it's just more important than anything else. Okay. That was a mistake. Okay, yeah, this Invoker would probably be dead. Okay. So rather than doppelgangering forward or away here, you should go forward because like they already used their CC. And Sand is right here. If Sand isn't here, it's different. But since Sand is here and he's able to stun soon, if you went forward, you'd be hitting him with all your illusions. You'd be attacking him. Then you'd be able to Spirit Lance, and take advantage of the slow. You could get stunned. You could keep hitting him. Yada yada. So you definitely should have gone forward here.
Okay.
Because even if you get EMP'd, you have no mana at that point anyway, so who cares?
Dire's top tower is under
And also,
attack.
ET already used Stomp, so it's not like he can disengage. Like, it should have been on cooldown right now.
Right.
Yeah.
What is the cooldown on that, by the way?
It's 14 seconds level 1.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. So yeah, you just gave up another, like, 3 creeps of XP in gold. Because you're just sitting here. What is, like... I'm not trying to be mean at all.
No.
Okay, okay.
Please.
So what is your thinking when you're doing this? Like, what's going on
Over
here?
cautiousness, I think. I'm constantly, worried I'm going to get ganked by mid or something like that. That's going to set me even further behind. Ironically, it's setting me behind, being overcautious.
Yeah, no, it's setting you way too far behind. It's like, you have no chance of winning here. Like, I mean, you could win, but it would be like, it's very coin flippy. Like, if the enemies are good, you lose. If the enemies are bad, you win. Like, that's not a very good thing to rely on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how you improve. Like, if you're worried about mid ganking you, like, just look mid and check what's going on. This is actually really common. Like, and I'm trying constantly to think of ways to fix this in people. It's just like, they get worried about something that they can just check to see if it's happening or not. Like, I'm worried about getting ganked by mid. Let me look mid. I'm going to physically move my camera. Oh, Alchemist is mid. I don't have to worry about getting ganked anymore. But, like, a lot of people will just be, like, looking at their hero, like, almost like they have an external locus of control. Like, this is out of my control. I can't make decisions based on what information I gather. But,
right.
I mean, obviously, you and I know that's not true. Like, I preach against that constantly. So...
Yeah, I think it's just a terrible habit that I haven't broken.
Yeah. I think, okay, so this might sound unrelated, but it's not. Do you do, like, CS practice or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been doing that, it's one of the last hit practice arcade things.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to add some more homework, well, not more, just, like, different. So while you're doing that, every time you go for a CS, like, or deny, I want you to click on your map, just, like, anywhere. And I want that to be a habit. And ideally you do, like, okay, you click on the center of your map for mid, or, like, the top of your map for top, or the bottom for bottom. It's going to be different because, like, the map is different in those modes, but you have the muscle memory of just clicking on, like these spots on your mini-map. So this will help. I think in that case, like, if you can just get into the habit of doing this, this will help so much. Because then you'll be, like, involuntarily taking in information. Even if you don't, like, consciously process the information, you'll still have access to it. So yeah, I think that I'm going to add that to the CS practice. And also that makes it a little bit more fun, a little bit more challenging, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because this needs to stop if you want to get better.
Yeah, I can see it's...
Yeah, it's
terrible.
crippling. It's crippling. Because this lane is not that bad. Like, these guys, they don't have strong heroes, and they're not, like amazing players by any means. Like, their heroes are okay in lane, but Invoker is like a range creep, really. At least, early on. He's not that strong at all. And ET is, like, he's extremely strong at level 1 if the perfect situation arises where he can get, like, a bunch of spirit stacks, but, yeah. So that's my rant for that. But I think that will help. You definitely need to not tunnel vision so much. That's really huge. I think that will, in turn, like, kind of get you over this anxiety or, like, cautiousness thing. It's good to be cautious, but, like, not when you're in a free lane, basically. Then you're just, like, you're really hurting yourself by doing that. Okay. It's fine. This is pretty poor timing. This is the right idea, though. Like, PL is actually a counter pick against Invoker. If Invoker goes mid, like, people pick PL into Invoker.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see why here. Like, if you didn't misplay this, then it would be really good.
Yeah, my timing was off of the doppel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you had doppeled the EMP or the Tornado, that would have been really good. But either way, like, so if you didn't take the harass early, if you had a stout shield instead, or if you timed your doppel a bit better, that would have been much better. You wouldn't take the damage from EMP here. You'd get more damage. Also, if you're going for this, you should Spirit Lance a little bit sooner. You want this cooldown to be up soon. Like you want to be able to cast it twice or 3 times in a fight. So just cast it right away. Like cast it and then go for the Phantom Rush.
So open with it.
Yeah, basically. Because it's a really short cooldown, right? Like it's 7 seconds. Like this fight probably. Right. So like let's time this fight. Just see how long it lasted. Okay, so without the Spirit Lance opener, from the second you start running here, 709. Okay. Okay, all the way to 722. That's like generous too. It really ended around 23. Okay, so 7 seconds, 14. Okay, so you could have gotten 3 casts of Spirit Lance in that time. Because it went from 7... Wait, no, that's not correct. That's not correct at all. Holy shit. Okay, so 2 casts of Spirit Lance, sorry. I didn't mean to bullshit you there. Okay. So yeah, 2 casts of Spirit Lance. Either way. Assuming you didn't, take the EMP, obviously. Because that's kind of hampers your ability to cast it. But either way. So level 2 Spirit Lance, 200 damage. Invoker has 200 HP. So if you get 1 extra hit off and just get 1 Spirit Lance, he's gonna die. Assuming, he has magic resist and everything, which he does. So that's a big deal, right? Like this could have been a solo kill for you. Yeah. Wait, question marks you? Holy shit. Damn, alright. I mean,
yeah, man, it was a tilted game.
Yeah.
It was a tilted game.
I can kind of feel him. He just dies though right afterward. That's justice. Alright,
yeah.
Either way. You question mark him? Okay, you can't do that. Okay, you lost your right to do that. Like, if it was Windrunner, then that would be okay. But you can't do that. This is like a... Man, alright. It's like a violation of the law of shit talking. It's like... Alright, it's fine. No worries. Right. I believe this was fine. Like you look to see... ideally, you're not looking at your hero so much, because like you can just autopath, and you want to be able to like really know how the fight is breaking down. If you just like click on the area, you're gonna go there the fastest way possible, short of doppelgangering over the wall. So you should definitely be looking at the fight more when you go here. And I'd imagine like it's probably like again, it's a teammate being like, "Yo, come," something like that, like, "Yo, kill this guy," like something like that. So definitely look for yourself, even if they're saying that. Like it's okay to trust them, just look for yourself. So you know. The information is so important.
Right.
Okay. Sekai runs the wrong way, but it's cool. Get the kill. Good stuff.
Strength in numbers. What did you...
Doppelganger was kind of a waste because you already killed him before he could get Echo Stop off, but it's okay. Not a big deal. Here you should definitely have like Stout Shield and Clawing Blade. No reason not to, really. Even before Treads. Especially if you feel
I was
pressure.
trying the thing that we talked about before, and I was was like wondering why I was failing, like why the jungle creeps are beating the shit out of me.
Yeah, well you do 40% less damage, and you take more damage without those 2 items. So
right,
yeah, the jungle thing is definitely good. Like don't get me wrong, you just need those items beforehand. Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so this lane is a pretty big disaster.
Yeah,
I'd imagine like let's check levels. Your level. Okay, so PA is 9, Invoker 8. Invoker's fucking level 8 at 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so this is an offlane Invoker. Like, that's crazy. Like, this is unheard of how high level this guy is. That's with the death, too. Okay. So this is, like, your biggest issue. Is this guy is just, like, a farming core in the offlane when he was playing against the tri-lane. Whereas, like, if you guys just, you killed him at level 1 with Dual Breath and, like, Spirit Lance him and shit, like, he'd lose. Like, he would have no chance against you guys. He would have to, like, sit in trees the whole time. Or, like, go jungle or something. So that's what it comes down to, really, in this game. Watch the rest to see what happens. But, yeah. That seems to be, like, the biggest thing here.
gotcha.
Okay, he also has 35 CS, holy shit. Alright.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. Yeah, you can't really kill him anymore. You just don't have the damage. Yeah, also make sure you max Spirit Lance before you get another point in Doppel. You just need the damage.
Gotcha.
I mean, the illusion damage is, or the illusion duration is really nice too. Okay. Okay, also, I don't mean to nitpick, but definitely when you're playing PL, you want to tread swap as well. Your mana is like very precious.
Gotcha. Right on.
Okay. So let's see what happened here. So you get tornadoed. EMP is an incorrect combo, but it's whatever. Okay. So I don't know if this was intentional, but it looked like you waited for the cold snap. Either way, that's what you want to do. Is you want to get him to commit another spell. So yeah, that was.
I remember
good.
you saying that as a disjoint.
Yep. No, it's really good because like it's not necessarily a disjoint, but it purges the cold snap, so it's really good. You made him use 100 mana for nothing basically. He got a little damage, but that's it. So that was good. You made them use a lot of spells. Nothing wrong with that. Again though, your tunnel vision's on yourself, which is bad. Okay. Yeah, this would be totally fine. It's like if you just buy Quelling Blade and go to the jungle here. Quelling Blade definitely matters, but yeah. Okay. This is a pretty good solution to like, having a rough lane. Okay. Here you could have tread swapped and just nuked it. Because you would have had the mana.
Right.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay.
Dire's
Okay.
bottom
You like half
tower
whiffed there.
is
That's
under
good.
attack.
Detection. Fuck. Okay, so missing it on this kill is really big. It's not really your fault, but you guys definitely need to carry detection against the Quaswex Invoker. Or like any Invoker for that matter that has Wix. Because like if you get this kill, this basically like, it doesn't completely negate everything he had in lane, but it certainly makes it like a much easier kill to swallow, right? Because
Right.
he's extremely high level, and the only downside to this is he gives more EXP for this reason. So this would have been a really huge kill if you got him. Like it's definitely one of those kills that like could make the difference between winning and losing. That would have been extremely impactful. Okay, so that's rough. Either way though, it's fine. Okay, so here you see ET on the ward top.
Radiant's middle tower
When you're doing this though, like when you're jungling especially, you definitely want to take advantage of the fact that you don't have to look at your hero. Like just look around and like click on these guys. You can see like Invoker's more than halfway towards his Orchid. He's got Urn.
Yep.
PA stop. She's holy fuck. Alright, she has Battle Fury. Alright, yeah. So you can check all this kind of thing, or these kind of things. You can see ET has Dust.
Radiant's middle tower
TA and
is under
Sand King.
attack.
All that information is really helpful, and you don't need to look at your hero to farm. So,
Dire's top tower. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
it's not a good rotation.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So-
Has fallen.
This is probably the last fight of the game, pretty much. Like the last fight that matters anyway.
Right.
So basically, when you TP top, I think this is the right play. You should have looked to see what's going on here to see if you could do anything. But as soon as you identify that this guy is dead, which he is no matter what, like unless they have detection or no detection, you just need to push top as hard as you can. Because like you being here is not going to do anything, right? Like
Right.
the best thing you can do is Spirit Lance people. And unless you're going to kill them with it, which you're not, it's kind of a waste of time for you to be here. The best thing you can do for your team right now is just push top, even if they don't think it. Like, unless you could go here and clean up a bunch of kills, then you should just be pushing top. And, like, they still get this tower, they still probably get your T2 as well, and your team still loses the fight, but at least you're not, like, dead during this time, right? Like, because basically
And
when
not
you...
farming.
Yeah, because when you TP top and you just run around like this, you're basically dead. You're like, not doing anything.
Right.
So you definitely want to avoid periods like this, or periods like this when you're carry. Don't feel obligated to go to every fight. If you can't TP there, or like run a short distance to get there, and then win the fight, just push a wave. Like that's usually the best thing to do. Obviously, this isn't true for every scenario, and there are going to be situations where you need to run to a fight, but try to default to pushing out waves, and that way you don't have situations like this where like you don't win the fight and you also don't push any waves, so you don't get any farm and you don't put any pressure. I probably said that to like, or I probably said that like a million times, not necessarily to you, but and I think I'm always going to think this way. I can't think of any situation where this would be incorrect, or it would be like a bad idea to tell somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I hope you don't get crit. Okay, you got crit. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, I got
So-
silenced too, so I couldn't topple.
Yeah, so that's the game right there, pretty much. You guys can always come back because it's a pub, but still, it's pretty much like this game becomes exceptionally hard, and these guys really have to mess up in order to throw it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna say this is probably where we wrap things up.
Right on.
Yeah. So the most important thing from this game specifically was by far just like don't let yourself get sucked into this like tunnel vision of despair or whatever it is. Like if you're anxious or if you're like worried or whatever, don't let it happen. Just like constantly look around, try to figure things out, like see what pieces you're missing. Like just try to see what's going on, see what's going to pressure you, see where your lane opponent is, what you think he's doing if he's not showing in lane. Is he doing this camp? Is he going to the jungle? Is he 6 and he's ganking bottom? Stuff like that.
Right.
Dota is a thinking man's game, so you never want to be in this position where you're just like, well, I'm kind of like, I'm trapped here. I can't get out of this little box. I hope you understand what I mean, because like I feel like I'm not explaining it correctly, but okay. Yeah. So do you have any final things you want to talk about, or like final thoughts or anything like that?
No, today was very helpful. I like that 5-stack build thing that we did too. I think that'll be really helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll send that to you right now. Okay.
And will this one be uploaded?
Yeah, unless you tell me otherwise.
No. I think that it would benefit my team to also watch it. That's why I asked.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine.
Dire's middle tower is under
I
attack.
probably won't upload it for a while, or like make it go public, but I can upload it like sometime soon and then give you guys the link. Like I'll unlist it.
Sure.
Does that sound cool?
Whatever
Okay.
works. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, yeah, if that's it, then
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
gonna bounce. I hope this is helpful again. And if you ever have any questions, just feel free to Skype me.
Right on. Thanks, man.
All right. Cool. Peace, dude.
Bye.